1 to the Bills. He gave up 38 to the Lions, 37 to the Chiefs, 44 to that terrible Texans offense. But you look at the past several weeks, I know the opponent has something to do with it. That defense has improved. They've moved Kyle Hamilton down to the box. That's helped out a ton. They held the Rams to 17 points. They held the Bears, the top 5 offense, to just 16 points. They held the Dolphins to 6 points. I'm not even going to tell you what they held the Vikings to. They're terrible offensively. They held the Browns to 16. They held the Jets to 10. They're a contender because I think their defense is starting to catch up. And we know eventually, despite the way Lamar has looked over the past couple of weeks, eventually they are going to figure it out on the offensive side.
A team that maybe surprisingly is now in the mix. Big game on Turkey Day here for the Dallas Cowboys at 5-1. Contender or pretender?
Well, I know that the listening audience in D.C. is probably not tuned in right now, so I can say this. Ryan, don't think I'm crazy. When you have an offense that's explosive, that's as explosive and dynamic as Dallas's, you've got to be considered a contender. Yes, I said it. I am buying the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. Now, this may or may not have anything to do with my take this summer that they were going to win the NFC East. And I know as a Commanders fan, I wasn't supposed to say that, but I did. We're going to figure out coming up on Turkey Day just how legit they are. They've won 2 straight. Big win on Sunday against Philadelphia. Their defense played really well in the second half. They take on Kansas City coming up on Turkey Day, and I just wonder if that Kansas City defense knows what's it's in store for, man. Dak Prescott playing some of the best quarterback in the National Football League right now. For right now, I'm going to call them a contender. They finish out the season home for Kansas City, at Detroit, home for Minnesota, home for the Chargers, at Washington, and then at the Giants to wrap it up. I can see this team getting to 10 wins.
Okay. How about a team that got off to a hot start? The Pittsburgh Steelers, 4-1 to start the year. They're now 6-5 after going 2-4 in the last 6 games. At 6-5, the Pittsburgh Steelers, are they a contender or pretender?
Not only are they a pretender, they're probably the biggest pretender of them all. It bothers the hell out of me what we've seen from Pittsburgh this year because I'm an Aaron Rodgers truther. You all know that. I spent all summer getting yelled at by you guys on the phones about, why do you like Aaron Rodgers, Linnell? He's a me guy. Well, their defense has been the problem this year for them, if I'm being honest, right? I know offensively it hadn't been sexy. I know Rodgers, I think it was at one point the quickest in the NFL in terms of time to throw. The yards per attempt are down. I feel bad for Mike Tomlin, honestly, because they just haven't been able to figure out quarterback long term since he's gotten there. And Rodgers has been stable and a stabilizing presence for them at the position. But with all the resources that they have invested on the defensive side of the football, I am extremely disappointed in what we've seen from them.
Let's go 2 teams here back-to-back. Both teams 8-3, surprising leaders in their division. We'll start with the NFC first. Chicago Bears, pretenders or contenders?
Once again, when your offense is humming at the clip that Chicago's is, I think you got to be legitimately considered a contender here in the National Football League. Caleb Williams, despite what folks thinking, look, it's the sexy thing to talk down on Caleb and act like he's not capable. The Bears offense quietly 8th in the NFL in points per game. From a yards per game standpoint, 6th in the NFL. They're getting it done, man, and Caleb is playing good ball. The thing that gets me excited about the Bears is what they have the potential to be defensively. Now, I know right now, from a points per game standpoint, they're ranked 26th or something like that? It's not very good. But what they have at the cornerback position, Nahshon Wright playing some of the best corner in the NFL. He's turning people over. That pass rush at some point is going to get ratcheted up. I believe in Montez Sweat and company. They got speed at the linebacker position. They're getting Jalen Johnson back. I think the Bears are a legitimate NFL outfit, and I think right now Ben Johnson on the short list of coaches of the year.
We have 1 minute left. I want to run 2 quick hitters by you. 8-3 Colts.
Pretender. I don't believe in the offensive line. When they play good teams that can get after you and make you one-dimensional, I think you see Daniel Jones is still pretty mid.
And let's finish here. The 7-4 Buffalo Bills, contender or pretender?
And look, I tried to go easy on your Colts there too, pal.
Thank you, Linnell.
The Buffalo Bills, I'm going to call them a pretender, man. That defense is funky. Best way that I could put it, and not in a good way. Their run defense, look, there are certain principles amongst certain axioms, rather, in football, and one of them is you got to be able to stop the run. That's like first and foremost. That's like the number one thing you got to be able to do as a defense. They can't. Third worst rush defense in the NFL. Second worst in terms of yards per rush allowed. And then in terms of the most explosive runs, only the Giants have given up more. So the Bills, they're a pretender, man. Wow. That was fun. Little contender or pretender to wrap up the show right here on the Infinity Sports Network. This has been Writer Than You with the youngest in charge, Linnell Willingham, sitting in for our guy, Bill Ryder. Appreciate our guy, Ryan Hickey. Appreciate Trey Wingo for joining the program. Tomorrow, back with you. We'll talk Turkey Day sides on the show tomorrow, plus talk a little bit more about the NFL. We'll touch on the NBA as well. Until then, be well. If you want to keep the conversation rolling with me on social media, it is at NELL_BTP.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Black Friday sales event is underway at Factory Mattress Outlet. Need a better night's sleep for the holidays? Take advantage of big savings on the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the area. Save up to $900 on America's finest quality mattress brand. Stearns & Foster, handcrafted quality that's second to none. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. Shop local and save on Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Factory Mattress Outlet, Greenville Boulevard, Greenville, and on the web at factorymattressusa.com.
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon's delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue, electric, plumbing, and air.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Caroline Cook, and if you need an experienced realtor from Eastern North Carolina that was born a pirate, then give me a call. I'm committed to helping you find your dream home, selling your property for the best possible price, and providing top-notch real estate services. I pride myself on local knowledge, professionalism, and commitment to exceeding your expectations. Explore my website, CarolineCookHomes.com, to learn more about the services I provide and the properties I have to offer. Start your real estate journey today by calling 341-1992. Go Pirates!
Looking for your new favorite hangout spot? Come on down to the Doghouse Tavern, Aiden's veteran-owned crown jewel on 2nd Street. From open mic Mondays to music bingo Thursdays, there's always something happening. Enjoy daily drink specials, one of the best bar menus around, and live music that'll keep you coming back for more. Grab your friends, kick back, and support local at the Doghouse Tavern. Check us out on Facebook to see what's on tap this week. The Doghouse Tavern, where good times and great vibes live.
Looking for a unique flavor experience? Visit Simply Divine Oil and Wine in the Arlington Village in Greenville. Discover a curated selection of premium olive oils, balsamic vinegars, and hand-picked wines. Perfect for cooking, sipping, or gifting. Join us for wine tastings and special events like cooking classes, girls' nights, and private parties. There's always something to delight your senses. Plan your visit or check upcoming events at simplydivineoilandwine.com. Simply Divine Oil and Wine. Flavors to savor, experiences to remember.
Need to sell your house fast without fixing or even cleaning it? Call the Turner Home Team.
Hey, this is proud ECU alumni Justin Turner with the Turner Home Team. We buy houses as is in any condition for cash, and we can close in just days. As a real estate investor and licensed agent, my team and I can give you options when you need to sell. Sell fast or sell for top dollar. You choose what's best.
Call Turner Home Team or visit theturnerhometeam.com. They'll make a no obligation cash offer for your home today.
Turner Home Team. Pirates supporting pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Auto World, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, QC Kinetics, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. Good Tuesday to you as we talk sports today, and we're going to talk high school football, round 4 of the state playoffs, and we say it every August. If you're practicing on Thanksgiving morning, you've had a great season that can only get better, and that's the case for several of our area teams. We're going to kick off our show with Kinston head coach Ryan Gieselman. After that, we're going to head to Northside Pinetown and talk with Coach Keith Boyd there. We've got Ron Cook from Farmville Central. His Jaguars are in the 4th round. And then after that, we've got Mike Twitchell, head coach at West Craven, and then Charborough's Jeff Craddock to round it out for this hour, talking high school football, round 4 of the state playoffs, the Eastern semifinals for just about everybody except the 1As, and that's the Eastern finals in this new format for high school football with the 8 classifications. All right, welcome into our show. Let's get right to it, and let's go to Kinston High School. Ryan Gieselman joins us live. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on making it to round 4 and the chance to practice on Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having us on the show.
When you look at everything that goes on in a football season, all the ups and all the downs, did you think you'd be here in round 4?
Well, you know, we were a 4th-round team last year. We felt like we were a year early, and we felt like if we could keep developing and stay the course, and, you know, we had some lumps early in the year. You know, we knew what we had, but like I said, we've put it together, and we're excited to be where we're at right now, and look forward to the opportunity to play Friday night.
You folks aren't tired of heading to Elizabeth City yet, are you? Because you played Pasquotank last week, now you got to go back and play Northeastern.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a good, I guess, problem to have, but, you know, we weathered the storm of a trip last week, and look forward to doing it again this week.
When you look at your ball club, talk about some of the strengths. Obviously, it starts at quarterback with Tyler Jones, wide receivers with what you've got with Tyreek and everything you guys have been able to do with that offense. But there's much more to this team than that, isn't it?
Yes, sir. We've had the emergence of Pat Brown and Reggie McNeil also at the receiver position, along with the run game with Genesis Wiggins have been really big for us the last few weeks. And then our defense has been playing really well the last few weeks, which has allowed us to advance this far, and we've got to continue to play great defense, and that's led by Xavier Kroon and Jamoris Poole.
You know, I think people really started noticing Kinston. Obviously, you had a good record. You had some wins, you know, stringing those wins together. And you take on Tarboro on Halloween night, and that was one heck of a football game. You guys fall 42-35. We all know Tarboro's won 76, 77 straight conference games, something like that. But did that tell you that this ball club was really ready to go?
Yes, it was a great test going into the playoffs. You know, Coach Craddock's done a great job over there at Tarboro, and for us to respond the way we did, being down like we were early in the game, and to score, to come back to tie it with opportunities late in the game to, you know, to go up or possibly win the game was big for our ball club, and just to build off that and to be battle tested like that prior to the playoffs is huge for our program.
This was a season of change with the reclassifications, the 8 classes now in high school football. Now that you've gone through the regular season, you're still in the postseason, obviously, but what do you think of the reclassification? Do you like it?
It's not too bad. You know, the only thing we've got to figure out is, you know, I think scheduling-wise, we've got to do a little bit better job to help ourselves out RPI-wise, where some teams had done a better job scheduling than we have, and that's the only thing I think we see that will adjust as an athletic program as a whole going forward.
But that's difficult, too, when you look at trying to schedule, folks, because games are hard to get, aren't they?
Oh, yes. You know, the 5-team league, the 16 league, where we got to have 5 non-conference games. That's kind of tough with a lot of, you know, other leagues that have 7 teams where they're playing that week 5, and where we've got to find that extra game. It has made things a little bit difficult, though.
Ryan Gieselman kicking off our show as the Kinston Vikings get set to take on Northeastern. Kinston is the 14 seed in the 3A East bracket. Northeastern is the 7 seed. Coach, what do you see on tape with this Northeastern team? Because year in and year out, Northeastern's one of those teams that usually makes a long run in the playoffs.
Yes, they've got a great history, and we've played them in the past, and kind of, you know, we've weathered the storm with the trips before, and they're well coached by Coach Moore and his staff. Very dynamic offense, and play great defense. And from my understanding, is they're getting very healthy right now. And if you're getting healthy right now at the right time, that's going to present some issues.
You know, it's funny that Northeastern's one of those teams. They're actually in the Norfolk, Virginia market, but the Norfolk, Virginia stations don't cover them at all. So whenever they come here for anything, they're always asking me, why don't we get to Elizabeth City more? Well, obviously it's 2 hours to get there, so it's a little difficult for us to get there. We get there every once in a while. We have plans to get your game this week for Touchdown Friday. But Northeastern kind of, they kind of feel like nobody really likes them. They have that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heck of a trip for us. I mean, 3 hours away. It's hard to believe that back in the day when Kinston was 4A, that they were all in the same conference together with the Northeastern. But like I said, I do feel like you said, that they do have a chip on their shoulder of being kind of like the outcast of being way out in the northeast corner. And they do a good job of playing to that and getting their guys up and playing with that type of attitude.
It's funny because I tell people that all the time. When I came in '84, there were so many 4A teams, and that's when North Carolina went 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and Northeastern was 4A, Kinston was 4A. I think some of the Wilson schools were 4A, Rose, New Bern. It was really, really crazy that many 4A schools, and now we're down to just a couple that are 7As. It was just the highest class we have in Eastern North Carolina.
Yes, I mean, like I said, Kinston was a 4A and then 3A, and we were actually a large 2A school for the long time when I first got to Kinston, and, you know, there was even talks in the realignment prior to this past one that we could even possibly 1A, and we battled that with an appeal and won, and were able to stay in 2A, and, you know, now just using straight ADMs allows us to be in 3A, and you know, I guess kind of maybe playing a little bit up to what we've been, you know, playing number-wise.
All right, go through the playoffs with us. First of all, do you like the first round? Because as a 14 seed, you had a home game in that first round. We saw a lot of routes in the first round of the playoffs. Yours was one of them, 53-7 over Northmore. But do you like that first round? Or do you think that the North Carolina High School Athletic Association needs to tweak it a little bit?
I mean, if you look at some of the scores, I mean, you can kind of say that, you know, it's maybe a little bit unfair, but you know, I know if I was a team with a higher seed and I had some guys beat up, I'd love to have that first round bye, but there's part of me too that, you know, I'd want to keep on playing and keep my momentum going, especially if I finish with a strong regular season and to keep building. And I think that's what helped us tremendously was, you know, building off that Tarboro game, going right into the playoffs and playing that first week. And then we also enjoyed having that home game, that first round of the playoffs.
Kinston advanced to round 2 with that 53-7 win over Northmore. Then it was on to Midway down in Dunn, North Carolina, and your team goes on the road. I would say on the road you're kind of a bit of an underdog, but you won that game 34-13. What was the difference in that game?
Oh, we actually have Tyreek Copper on some special teams now, and he returned a punt for a touchdown that kind of really turned that game into the momentum on our side and allowed us to make some more plays offensively. And like I said, our defense is playing a lot better, and that's really carried us along here in the last few weeks.
And last week, trip to Elizabeth City, trip number 1 to Elizabeth City, and the win 34-20 over Pasquotank. Were you surprised by anything in that game?
I mean, like I said, traditionally, I guess if you look at the past, we didn't know what to expect from Pasquotank with the ups and downs in their program, but they've done a really good job these last 2 years, and there's a reason why they were ranked the way they were, and they were hosting on Friday night, and we were able to respond well, both offensively and defensively and special teams. I think the punt return by Tyreek Copper in that game for a touchdown kind of sparked us there as well.
You mentioned Tyreek a couple of times. His dad, Terrence Copper, a good friend of all of ours, played at Washington High School, outstanding receiver at East Carolina, had a couple of years in the National Football League. Just a great guy, great family. Why do you think that East Carolina really didn't get involved with Tyreek and the recruiting there? He's headed to North Carolina State.
No clue there, because we've thought all along since Tyreek was a freshman that he was a big time Division I player and knew what he could do, and maybe didn't understand, but he stayed the course and trusted the process, and his offers came, and he made the best decision for him and his family.
And in this age of transfer portals and NILs and that kind of thing, the door's always open. I mean, there's a chance maybe down the road if he wants to come to East Carolina. Obviously, he goes to NC State, wants to do the best he can. Hopefully, he'll have a 4 or 5 year career there and just be outstanding. But if things don't work out, I'm sure Pirate football would love to have him. What about Tyler Jones, your fine quarterback? Because he's put up numbers that are just astronomical. Is he getting recruited at all?
Yes, he has some smaller school offers right now, and his phone is starting to heat up right now with the smaller Division Ones and Division Twos getting done with their season, and he will be a college football player next year somewhere, and then someone's going to get a diamond in the rough right there.
That's good. That's good news, because everything that we had heard, that people just, that for whatever reason, even though he was putting up those numbers, he just wasn't being recruited like maybe most of us thought he should be. But obviously, he's an outstanding player, and he's got you guys guiding this football team to the 4th round of the state playoffs. Northeastern and Kinston coming up from Elizabeth City for the Kinston Vikings. Kinston is the 14 seed. Northeastern as the number 7 seed. Coach, what do you guys have to do to win this one?
I mean, like I said, continue to play great defense like we've played here lately, and then just value every possession that we have offensively, and continue to put points up on the board to allow our chance to come out successful on Friday night.
All right, I saw this on social media. We started our show by saying the teams that, start the year want to be practicing on Thanksgiving. I saw it on social media. You're inviting every former Kinston Viking player out to come and join into this tradition, to try to make it a tradition to practice on Thanksgiving. Are you expecting a big crowd?
From what we've got social media-wise, response-wise, it seems like there'll be a good amount of folks out there to come watch practice, former players and whatnot. So we're hoping so, and like I said, it's hopefully a tradition we can continue. It's the first time in program history where we've been back-to-back years practicing on Thanksgiving, and just look to build and just keep that excitement up, and then allow our guys to see, the past, and then possibly those guys have some younger kids or whatnot that could be the future Vikings, and just put everybody together, and kind of what Thanksgiving's all about.
What do you do as a team for Thanksgiving?
So as a team, obviously we'll practice in the morning. And then we'll actually have breakfast together before turning the guys loose to their families for the afternoon. And kind of what we've done the few years we have practiced on Thanksgiving, and just to continue with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to have sponsors for all of that, and then that means a lot to you.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. We have my mom and a couple of her friends. We have Miss Dee Dee, who step up and make everything homemade, so nothing store-bought, and so that means a little bit more and tastes a little bit better than store-bought food, and the guys really enjoy it.
I bet they do. They'll be fat and happy come Friday night. You got to get them back after they do all that, then go to Thanksgiving dinner with their families, and then corral them back in for that trip to Northeastern because they've got to be ready to go. What's the key in that game against Northeastern? Now, you talked about what you needed to do, but what do you look for in round 4? Obviously, the coaches' cliches, can't turn the ball over. You got to create turnovers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, just like Northeastern's an electric environment, and our kids can't be overwhelmed by the Tron that they have and all the extra music and stuff like that. And then there's extra motivation with us playing this summer and passing league and whatnot. And so I think there could be a little bit of talking and just weather that storm of emotions on both sides. And I think if we can do that, some good things can happen.
Coach, you've done a great job at Kinston. It's a basketball school, but you're making it a football school, kind of like Farmville Central. I mean, you guys with schools that are known for basketball, but taking them until the 4th round. But good luck against Northeastern coming up on Friday night, and hopefully we'll be talking about the Eastern Finals with Kinston coming up next week. But best of luck. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the Kinston Vikings.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Ryan Gieselman join us on our show. Coming up next, we will go to Northside Pinetown. Keith Boyd, their coach, will join us as we continue our preview of round 4 of the Eastern semifinals. In high school football, teams love to practice on Thanksgiving, and several of our area teams will be doing just that. Back with more after this.
Here with Bryant Cook, the comptroller for Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. Bryant, talk about your service that you have at Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World.
Yeah, we've got a great group of technicians that work on all makes and models of vehicles. We're here to check out your car, give you some advice, fix the things that are needed, and maybe get you on the right path to taking care of it down the road.
One website, 2 outstanding dealerships, finding the car you're looking for. Greenville Motor Company, Greenville Auto World. Try us, trust us at driveherenow.com.
Want to make your day better? You can now order 2 large original crust 1-topping pizzas from Papa John's for only $9.99 each. Take advantage of this awesome carry-out special now by logging on to papajohns.com and make today a pizza day for only $9.99 each. Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards and start earning points for your favorite menu items. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
The perfect place to shop this season is Greenville's newest boutique and fitness studio, Downtown Bar. I'm Victoria, and our boutique is stocked with Lululemon favorites, cozy apparel, and perfect stocking stuffers. But Downtown Bar is more than just a boutique. We offer infrared heated bar, mat Pilates, yoga, and cycling classes that make you feel strong, centered, and inspired. Class packs make amazing gifts, and our studio is full of festive vibes. It's Santa's one-stop shop for the gift that keeps on giving. Find us next to UBE and Greenville at Downtown Bar.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we've forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With local bankers you know and trust, businesses and individuals throughout the Carolinas continue to choose United Bank. Proud to support the Pirates. Bankwithunited.com. United Bank, member FDIC.
Big news from the Rick House. The Rick House has a brand new menu that you're absolutely going to love. New on the menu are creamy garlic parm chicken pasta, crab cakes, and our new porterhouse, half filet, half strip, tender and juicy, and grilled to perfection. The Rick House is the area's bourbon authority, featuring Willet, Jefferson Tropics, and the Frank Sinatra Select by Jack Daniels. The new menu features new, lower prices and $4 drafts all summer long. The Rick House, Red Banks Road in Greenville.
This is Coach Joe Dooley, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Tuesday as we continue to talk with coaches who have their teams practicing on Thanksgiving. It's always a big goal around the area. We talk about it every August, and those teams that are fortunate enough get a chance practicing on Thanksgiving morning and then giving the kids the rest of the day off, getting them back on Friday and ready to go for their game. Keith Boyd now joins us from Northside High School out of Pinetown. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations as you guys head to round 4.
Hey, I really appreciate that. It's a privilege, that's for sure.
Let's talk about Beargrass Charter, the 43-6 win. You guys were pretty much in control most of that game, weren't you?
Yes, sir. We executed our game plan pretty well, and we're hoping to carry that into this coming Friday night.
And you've got a Wilson Prep team that you've got to battle, and Wilson Prep has a reputation of what's the nice way to say it? You just got to be on your toes emotionally against a Wilson Prep team because they will press some buttons. That's a pretty nice way to say it.
Yeah, I've heard some things. We just kind of take it in stride. Throughout the course of the year, you run across some other teams that play kind of that way, and that's not our way, but we just have to be well-minded enough to be able to handle it.
All right, in the Beargrass game, at the end of the game, there was a little skirmish as far as that goes. We don't have to go into details on it, but were there any ramifications from the North Carolina High School Athletic Association with that skirmish?
No, sir. No, it was kids weren't involved at all, and it was all kind of snuffed out and just a little misunderstanding.
Cooler heads prevail, and that's good to hear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad it happened that way.
All right, let's talk about your ball club then. Let's talk about just how good this Northside team is. For those of us, I've seen highlights several games, but what are the strengths of your ball club?
Well, offensively, we lean on our O-line a whole bunch. We kind of catch a little flack. We don't throw it a whole lot, but in 1A, sometimes you just don't have those guys to put out there and run the spread stuff. And we're one of those teams, so we work hard on getting strong in the weight room and scheming it up, being able to block certain plays 3 or 4 different ways. And I got a group that's really worked hard, been in the weight room, and we lean on them offensively a ton. And of course, I got a senior quarterback and a senior running back that have been in the system for 3 years now starting, and they kind of know the system just as good as I do.
And in 1A and in 8A, this fourth round is actually the Eastern Finals. So you guys are playing for a berth in the state championship game, and that's got to mean even more, doesn't it?
Oh my Lord, yes. It's one thing to be practicing on on Thanksgiving. Most of the time you're preparing to get a chance to go to the Eastern Championship, but this was even more special because on Thanksgiving we're actually preparing to hopefully win an Eastern Championship and move on and go to the state championship.
What do you guys do as far as your schedule on Thanksgiving?
Wednesdays and Thursdays, what we'll do is we'll bring them in on 7:30, and we'll try to get a good hour and a half to 2 hours maybe, and try to release them, get them on home to their families, and that way they have plans. They got time enough to shower up and get where they need to be.
Yeah, it's always a neat deal trying to get everybody to their families and that kind of thing, because Thanksgiving is probably, it's the best holiday really, because Christmas has got so much hustle and bustle and trying to get presents here and get this and that, but Thanksgiving's all about just the turkey, the dressing, the family, and just means a lot to a lot of us. How much do you like Thanksgiving, Coach?
Well, Brian, as you were saying that, I was just amening you because, you're right. Especially the older I get, you enjoy just getting together and not worrying about, I got to get this person this gift or this person that gift. And it's just getting together, get some good food. There's always 3 or 4 NFL games on, and just gathering around. My family is a football family, and that's what we do. We watch football games all day long.
That may be the first time in my 63 years that somebody amen me. That's good stuff. Keith Boyd, the head coach at Northside, joining us as his Panthers get set to take on Wilson Prep for the Eastern 1A championship game coming up and a berth in the state finals. So the Eastern finals this week, Wilson Prep and Northside. What do you think the key is to winning this game? Some of the things you've seen on film from Wilson Prep.
Well, they're going to line up and they're going to get behind their big guys, and they're pretty big up front and just kind of plow you over. And we've got to do a good job of finding a way to get a couple stops, maybe a turnover here and there on defense, kind of bend, don't break, because there's not going to be but so many possessions because both teams are run-oriented and the clock's not going to stop. So we definitely got to get a couple stops, maybe a turnover or so. And offensively, we just got to stay like we have been all year long. I think we're averaging a little over 40 points a game. And when we have the ball, we got to be careful with it and make sure that every time we touch it, we put it in the end zone.
Yeah, these numbers are crazy since the end of September. 48-zip, 49-zip, 44-33, 35-0, 64-0, 48-7, and 43-6 through the playoffs. So obviously you score a lot of points. You don't give up a whole lot of points as far as that goes. So it's been pretty much a magical season so far, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. We're just hoping it continues. And like I said earlier about our offense, our defense has been pretty stingy also. It's just not in some aspects, it's not a great matchup for us because they are so big up front. But I think I got a lot of kids with some heart up there, and I think we're going to certainly try our best to try to find a way to get some stops.
All right, Coach, good luck in that Eastern Finals. We're certainly rooting for you, and we hope to have you in the 1A state championship game because you would get a week off, and then you would play in the state finals. So that'd be a great benefit, too. But happy Thanksgiving to everybody at Northside, and congratulations on making it to the Eastern Finals.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, Brian, and I appreciate you having us on. And I hope, I hope to see you in Chapel Hill.
There you go. Keith Boyd, join us. Thanks so much, Coach, and enjoy your holiday.
Hey, thank you.
All right, that's Keith Boyd as we continue on in our show. We'll stay with it right now. We won't take a break yet. We'll try to hook up with Ron Cook, the head football coach at Farmville Central. When you look at the matchups around the area, and if you get a chance, if you have relatives in town and they're coming in town, you want to try to entertain them somehow, take them to one of these high school football games because we've got games all around us. Coming up in just a bit, we will go to Vansboro, talk to Mike Twitchell at West Craven, and also coming up in just a bit, we will head to Tarboro and talk to Jeff Craddock, head coach there. So all of these games are entertaining. There'll be a fun night out for you and the family. So get out and try to treat some high school football. Also, if you look at the matchup, 6A, Jacksonville is the number 1 seed, and they play at home against Union Pine. If they win that game, they probably would host Northern Nash. Northern Nash is the 2. Middle Creek is the 3 as far as these 6A playoffs are concerned. Croatan plays at Wilson Hunt. Rocky Mount at Northside Jacksonville on the 5A level. That's a big deal for Jacksonville and for Northside Jacksonville. Two schools, just a couple of miles apart, really, and both are doing very well as far as the playoffs are concerned. As we said, West Craven takes on Southwest Edgecombe. That's a conference rematch for Mike Twitchell, and we'll talk to him in Vansboro coming up in just a few minutes. And then Farmville Central plays at James Keenan. Farmville Central is the 13. James Keenan is the 1 seed. So Farmville Central and Kinston, both high seeds, both making it to round 4 as far as those semifinals are concerned. 2A East Bladen at Tarboro, Edenton at Warren County, and the 1A Eastern Final, as we just mentioned, with Keith Boyd, Wilson Prep, the 4 against Northside Pinetown, which is the 2 seed. We're trying to track down Ron Cook, head football coach at Farmville Central, as we speak. Try to get him on the air, try to preview that matchup with the top seed, the Tigers of James Keenan. His team, as we've mentioned a couple of times, basketball schools, Kinston is one, Farmville Central most certainly is one, but both of these schools are playing very, very good football and both are in the 4th round of the state playoffs. All right now let's go to Farmville. Ron Cook, head football coach in Farmville Central, the Jaguars, the 13 seed, playing at the top seed, James Keenan, coming up in Warsaw on Friday night. Coach, first of all, congratulations on making it to round 4.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When you look at everything your team's accomplished and what all you've been able to do in these playoffs, so what's the one thing that really stands out for your team?
Like I've been telling everybody, just the resilience and the perseverance of our players, especially our senior class. My staff and I, we always thought, since their freshman year, actually a lot of them we met in 8th grade, that this senior class would be special because they stick together. They have really good work ethic. A lot of them have been playing together since middle school or since 8th grade at the very least. And they're our first and our second full senior class, but our first class to bring back the JV program here and to really you go through a whole cycle of development, while they're, in their 4 years of high school.
You've been able to play one home game in the playoffs. That was the big win over Trask, and then you've gone on the road winning at Lewisburg and against Martin County in Williamston. 28-20 was the final in that matchup. What was the key for Farmville Central playing Martin County? It's a tough place to play down in the swamp. They usually get a pretty good crowd, but how was your team able to win that one?
Well, it was one of the biggest things is just, and I've had experience down there being when they were at Riverside and they were in our conference and I was at Pamlico. But one of the biggest things for us is just our defense has been getting better every playoff game. Really did a great job of stepping up and holding their rushing attack under 200 yards. I think actually somewhere around 150 total. And being like gaps down and being aggressive up front is one of the biggest things. Then our offense has been doing a great job of taking care of the football. We've only had one takeaway, one turnover offensively. It's just a bad decision by our quarterback, and one of the few bad decisions he's made. But that and just again sticking together through adversity, not like I told them, especially in our Lewisburg game, it didn't start out too well for us, but they never flinched. They just stick to what that we've been taught and what we're going through, and I think that's also a credit to the tough schedule we had, especially our non-conference and then our conference schedule. I think we probably play in the hardest, if not one of the hardest, conferences in the East in 3A.
Yeah, I would say so because you've got Tarboro still alive. You've got Kinston still alive. Aiden Griffin just got knocked out last week. West Craven, you've played them. They're still alive. So you had quite the schedule at Farmville Central. And I thought one of your biggest wins in the regular season was the win over Conley because I thought Nate Connor did a great job and Conley had a really good football team. But that was a big win for your Jaguars.
Absolutely. We go back and it's funny you talked about the teams that are still in. My quarterback actually pointed out to me this weekend. We talk every week, and he said that every team that we lost to except for one was still in the playoffs.
Wow, there you go. Yep, he looked right down the sheet. He's exactly right. Man, that's a tough schedule. All right, you got James Keenan. Speaking of tough, James Keenan, the number 1 seed. It's going to be a difficult assignment because they love their football in Duplin County. They have a great home field advantage. So you're gonna face something this week, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. They're a very good team. You can tell they're very, very well coached. They're very good at what they do offensively. They've been doing. They've been running that offense for a long time. And we got to continue to improve on what we've been proving. Basically, what I talked to the team about at the beginning of this week is continue to do what we've been doing, but better. And get rid of the little mistakes that we have been making. We have to get that down to, just about zero. It's hard to be perfect, but we have to play almost perfect game against them. Offensively and defensively. And again, like I said, defensively, we've been trending the right way. And we need to continue that Friday night and even take it up another level. And then offensively, go from 1 turnover to 0, really, really take care of and protect the football.
Have you broken to Coach Williford that Farmville Central is now a football school?
No, I think he kind of gets the idea because we got, I know it's probably been a long time for him, but we've got a starter that actually won't be playing in their first game tonight. So I know it's been a long time since that's happened to him, but hopefully won't be playing next week either.
And there you go. Keep them as long as you can. Coach, good luck this week at James Keenan. Thanks so much for your time, and have a great Thanksgiving. It's a great holiday, especially when you're still playing football, isn't it?
No, absolutely. It's very special, especially for, like I said, for this senior class, something we've been talking to them about since their freshman year to have the opportunity to practice on Thanksgiving, and now it's here, and we plan to take full advantage of it and hopefully take care of business on Friday night.
All right, good luck on Friday. Ron Cook, head coach at Farmville Central. We'll take a commercial break. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show after this.
When the truth matters, trust the professionals at Private Eyes. Founded in 1999 by law enforcement officer and military veteran Gary Pastor, Private Eyes specializes in private investigations, executive protection, security, and threat detection services. From individuals, attorneys, and businesses, Private Eyes has the experience, resources, and state-of-the-art technology to uncover answers and protect what matters most. Private Eyes, professional, discreet, trusted. Call 866-774-3937.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's Bostic Sugg Furniture's 88th anniversary sale, and we're going to wow you with amazing savings store-wide. Right now, get a discount equal to double the sales tax on beautiful furniture for your entire home. And now's the time to invest in your rest. Buy a Beauty Rest Black or a Helix mattress and enjoy healthful benefits and endless comfort with a free motion base upgrade. Plus, up to 60 months special financing during Bostic Sugg Furniture's 88th anniversary sale, going on now.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers. Burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr!
Jeff Stein here at Brown & Wood Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Brown & Wood's award-winning service department is open Monday through Friday. And don't forget, we have free pickup and drop-off. Every customer, when you come in for service, heavy repair, maintenance, it doesn't matter. You get a free car wash, dry, and vacuum. We've also got Tom Brown's favorite tagline, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This is Garrett Saylor, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we continue to preview round 4. As we've said several times, coaches love to have their teams practicing on Thanksgiving. That means they've had a great season that can only get better with a couple of more wins. We're going to head out to Vanceboro to catch up with Mike Twitchell coming up in just a few seconds on our YouTube page. We've got, let's see, Kenny Curlings writes in and says, how about them Cowboys? Cowboys came from 21 down on Sunday to beat the Eagles 24-21, so that was a good Sunday for some of us Cowboy fans. Certainly appreciate that text and appreciate the happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone. Somebody else, the Tarboro game going to catapult Kinston to a state championship. All right, that's from 252 NC Truth. So we'll see how that works out. Mike Twitchell and the West Craven Eagles in the Three Rivers 4A rematch with Southwest Edgecombe. West Craven is a 2 seed. Southwest Edgecombe is the 11 seed, led by quarterback DJ Davis. The Eagles have had a great season. All started out with that emotional win over Havelock 7-0. Having trouble getting up with him. Is it a wrong number? I may have written it down wrong. Or is it nobody just picking up? Yeah, all right. What do you got?
We got a new phone system here.
Well, at least that's not my fault.
Well, it still could be.
It could be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's telling me to record my message, and I'm talking to a robot operator.
Oh,
so
well, that's not good at all. All right, maybe we'll just try to catch up with Coach Craddock. He may be ready. Let's see if we can get him. Try to go to Tarboro and catch up with Coach Craddock. Mike Twitchell from Vanceboro and West Craven, Jeff Craddock from Tarboro. Coach Craddock's always available usually, so we can maybe round him up. Again, if you're looking at the matchups, the 1A is the Eastern Final, as we talked with Keith Boyd just a minute ago. Northside Pinetown, the 2 seed, taking on Wilson Prep as the 4 seed. The games we're getting ready to talk about, East Bladen is the 4 seed, taking on the top seed, the Tarboro Vikings. And Tarboro has that long winning streak in conference play. Kinston played them tough as anybody in the last several years, that 42-35 matchup. But trying to track in Tarboro right now as we speak. Jeff Craddock on this holiday week. So I think we've got contact with him, and we'll get him on the air coming up in just a second. He was scheduled for a little bit later. He good? All right, we got Tarboro Coach Jeff Craddock on. Coach, calling you a little early because we can't find Mike Twitchell right now, but we appreciate you joining us and getting set for you guys. You must plan Thanksgiving practices and Thanksgiving breakfasts and that kind of thing, because it's a yearly occurrence at Tarboro, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been blessed for a long time. I think it goes back to 2008 was the first time we were able to have a Thanksgiving practice, and we just, I guess, made a decision that we liked doing it, so we decided to keep doing it for a while.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah. So on Thanksgiving, what do you guys do? Do you come into practice early? Do you have breakfast with the team first and in practice, or breakfast afterwards? And how does that all work?
Yeah, so it's just very simple, actually. I mean, I bring in the boys at 8:30 into our film room. I always get biscuits from Abrams, which I've already ordered 70 of them. I just get some drinks from the Food Lion. I just went and got them, put the drinks on ice, and we bring the boys in, and I let the coaches speak if they want to about what we're thankful for, and then we just kind of have a good time. We get a bite to eat, we relax. If I think we need an extra film study, then we'll study film for 30 minutes, and then we'll get on the field for about 45. But try to get them out of there by 10 at the latest, 10:30, so everybody can just kind of go enjoy time with their family.
I know you're certainly worried just about the games and the teams in the playoffs that you have, but you got to have a sense of pride that some of the teams like Kinston and Farmville Central and those folks are still alive as well.
Oh, absolutely. Getting into this new conference, it was the meeting that we had, which seems like it was just yesterday, and here we are already all going into December. But I was excited about the conference because of the level of competition and the level of coaching that we would get to face, and it didn't disappoint. The coaches from both teams have done a fantastic job. We played a really good game against Farmville, and then that last regular season game against Kinston, gave us a really good push. We ended up getting out of there with a 7-point win, but no, just always pushing for those guys, good friends of mine, and I'm hoping they go out and take care of business.
You got a bye in round 1, taking on Camden County in round 2, the win 52-0. Round 3, the win over Hobson 47-12. Do you like the format? Did you like having the bye? Because we had a lot of blowouts in that first round. You had a bye, so you didn't have one. But which way do you like it better? Do you like playing the first round, or do you like having the bye?
Well, if I have to have my choice, obviously I would prefer a bye. But to be honest with you, I don't think we need 6 rounds of playoffs to determine who the best team in the state is.
Exactly.
I get nervous as a coach about, getting a kid hurt in a game that's 50-something to nothing. Then I just don't agree with it. It hasn't never sat well with me, but that's the system that we're in. So there's no need to complain about it. You just deal with it and you manage it the best you can. So obviously, if they're going to do 6 rounds and we are fortunate enough to earn a first-round bye, I'll take the bye every time, let my boys heal up a little bit and rest up a little bit, and sit back and wait to see who we got to get ready for.
And you think about it. Obviously, the North Carolina High School Athletic Association gets it's a cash type deal. They want to get the gate to some of those games. But I agree with you. 6 is a whole lot. And you really, if you're looking at player safety and that kind of thing, which everybody talks about, it looks like to me you can narrow that thing down to maybe 5 and go from there. East Bladen coming up at Tarboro. What do you know about East Bladen?
Well, I know this much. 2 years ago, this team came to Tarboro and gave us all that we wanted. We won the game 20-13 in one of the most physical football games we had up to that point. You know, obviously as a staff, we've been going back and watching that and seeing what we did good, which really wasn't a whole lot, and what they did really good, but it was just one heck of a football game. I know they're very physical. They're going to come right at you. They're a running power football team. They got a halfback back there who's, I don't know, where do they get these kids from? But every time I played, they got a kid who's like 5'10", 235 at a halfback spot. It's like a bowling ball, and I mean that with all due respect. I mean, just a hard, physical back.
A fire hydrant.
They beat it to him about 20-some times. This kid's just mowing you over. But no, they're well coached. The coach does a great job. So we're expecting, a physical. They'll be easily the best team that we've played up to this point in the playoffs. So it's going to be a physical game. They're very physical on defense. They get after you. They blitz. They just are a handful. And so we got to come out ready to play. I told my boys, if we don't come out ready to play this, you find yourself down quick. So we got to come out, get ready.
When they announced that they were going to go to 8 classes, I was against it, but it didn't matter. Obviously, I didn't get a vote. But I really liked, like you said, the conference that Tarboro got into, a 2A, 3A deal. You guys are only 2A, but you're playing up most of the year, and that's got to make you a better football team with the competition you've had.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at right out of the gate, we played, I think Rocky Mount's a 5A team, and we got a big win by 4, and they're still playing the playoffs. In week 2, we go to Hunt comes to town, and they're a 5A team, and they're still playing in the playoffs. So, we have faced some really good competition. We got down to Havelock. Havelock just lost on a field goal to lose the game, or they'd be playing, in this round as well. So we've definitely played. It's been the toughest schedule I've had in a long, long time. And, now you hope it pays off, but you played in these big games and these big environments against really good teams and good coaches. And that's what you're going to be facing, from this point moving forward, is great teams with great coaches and in a bigger environment. So hopefully, it paid off for us.
Yeah, and I was looking more at your conference schedule, but you're right. Rocky Mount, the opening night 20-16 win there. Rocky Mount, the Griffons are the 7th seed in the 5A, and they play at Northside Jacksonville on Friday night in the 4th round. Wilson Hunt, and you guys took care of them 34-17, and Hunt is actually the number 1 seed in the 5A East bracket. So that's big. That's a big-time win for Tarboro. When you look at that, that'll be Croatan, the 4th seed at Wilson Hunt in the 5A bracket. So you've played a great non-conference schedule, and then you go into the conference slate, and it was much improved from years past for the Tarboro Vikings. Against East Bladen, offensively, obviously you think of offense at Tarboro, the Tarboro T, and running the football, but you guys will put it in the air every once in a while, won't you?
Yeah, we trust our quarterback, Tyler Pally, so he throws a good ball. Of course, everything that we basically do is off of our play-action run, and he makes good decisions. He's not going to put us in a bad spot to get us behind the sticks. If he feels like it's not there, he just gets what he can with his legs. But, we typically try, I know this is going to sound funny, to call maybe 6 or 7 pass plays a game. Now, that don't always result in, the ball being thrown because, like I said, sometimes it's just not there and a quarterback runs. But, Coach Babb has always done a good job trying to mix it in, pick his spots when our passing game is most effective. And then a lot of times, if the game's out of hand in the second half, obviously we're not looking to throw the football then. So some of these games, we got to throw it early if we want to work on a few things. But the passing game is definitely there. We actually do work on it. I know people probably are laughing when I say that, but I promise you, we spend time each and every practice at Tarboro going over our passing game.
That's just like if you said, and we do work on our punting game from time to time because you don't punt a whole lot either.
We work on our punting game every day for 10 minutes. The first thing we do. Our punters are with Coach Reams, and we are working on the punt game.
But thankfully, you don't need it very often because that Tarboro team is absolutely loaded through the playoffs. As we said, the opening night, the bye, the win over Camden 52-zip, still at home against Hopton 47-12, and back at home against East Bladen. And Tarboro, as the top seed, will stay at home through the Eastern Finals. And playing all those home games, it has to mean a whole lot. Even though you've been there before, you've done that before, you won all these state championships, it never gets old, does it, Coach?
No, absolutely not. Every year's a different challenge. You just, as a coach, you're just so focused on, just the next game and just the next game. And And so you don't even think about what you've done. You don't even really care because it's not about what you've done. It's about what you're trying to do. And I'm sure East Bladen could care less about how good we have been in the past, so it's always about the next game. And home field advantage is nice, don't get me wrong, but home field obviously doesn't necessarily win you a game, but we do feel comfortable at home, and we love playing in front of our fans, and we do enjoy that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, really, whether you're home or away, it's all about who prepared the best, not only during that week, but in that off season and then leading up to this game. And then you just got to go out there and play your best game at that time.
We talked to Ryan Gieselman earlier on, and he's in the fourth round of the second straight year, and he talked about how on social media he's bringing any former players that want to come to practice on Thursday and make it kind of a family affair. And when I think of tradition in towns and football, obviously Tarboro goes to the top of the list, and you love having former players come back, don't you?
Oh, yeah. My son's one of them now. He just came back yesterday.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So, I saw my man Smokey. He was in the weight room yesterday with Jamari. So this time of the year, players start coming back. There'll probably be, I'm just guessing, probably 8 to 10 guys just at today's practice alone just to come back and see the guys. And then usually on Thursday morning, we usually got a few more than that. But, these guys love coming back home, and I'd love to see them. I wish I could see them more, but I've been doing it for so long. A lot of these guys are grown men now with families, and they're doing their own thing. So, but it is nice. It's just the time of the year you reflect on how blessed you've been. When you look back, and it's like, wow, we've really had it. Because I told the boys, that in the room, and they were just applauding about it. Guys, this is our 18th straight, practice year of practicing on Thanksgiving, and they all started cheering. And I looked around, I was like, yeah, most of you weren't even born the first time we did this gig on Thanksgiving, which is true, but it just goes to the testimony of the great kids that I've coached over the years, my great coaching staff who stayed with me through it all. So, like I always just say, I've just been very blessed and very thankful.
It's funny. It's funny you said that because I think there are grandparents that I covered in '84. They're now grandparents, so I covered their sons, and now I'm covering their grandsons. But it's been a great run, and very thankful for that. Coach, hey, thanks so much for joining us, East Bladen and Tarboro. Appreciate your time, and best of luck to those Tarboro Vikings. And maybe we'll catch up with you on your road to the state championship later on.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody there, and I appreciate you guys and the coverage you give us.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Coach Jeff Craddock from Tarboro. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll come back and continue on The Brian Bailey Show after this.
Miss Shirley, play my dad's commercial now.
Okay, Lincoln, you got it.
Looking for the best ride on four wheels? I'm Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts in Greenville. From parts to sales to service, we've got you covered with E-Z-Go, Club Car, and rugged utility carts ready to roll. Locally owned and operated, we'll even deliver right to you. Come see me on Highway 43 just past D.H. Conley High School or visit 360golfcarts.com.
360 Golf Carts, pirates supporting pirates. Arr!
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple-authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Here it is. Cooler weather is creeping in, football is in the air, and if climbing up and down stadium steps is a chore for you and your knees or your hips hurt with every step, there may be relief right around the corner. QC Kinetics are medical professionals that use advanced PRP and stem cell protocols that have helped tens of thousands of people with their joint pain. The stem cells come from your own body to revitalize and regenerate your joints. If you've been told you need surgery, you owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. Call QC Kinetics Text now to get started. 252-765-PAIN.
It's bow time. The Pork Chop Griller is back at Bojangles for a limited time. We know you missed it in all its tender, marinated glory, and how could you not? Because when you take a juicy, mouth-watering pork chop and sandwich it on a flaky, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, it's not a flavor you want to say goodbye to. And don't worry, if it could talk, we're pretty sure it would say, I missed you too. Get to the nearest Bojangles and order yours today. It's bow time.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time.
Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this.
Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Turkey, ham, bacon. These and other meats are great around the holidays and every other day, but they all leave behind grease when you cook them, and grease is a real pain in the drain. When you pour grease down a drain, it cools and can clog sewer lines. That can lead to sewer spills, which are messy, bad for the environment, and can also be expensive. Never pour grease down the drain. Instead, collect it in a container like a used soup can or jar. Let it cool and throw it away in the trash. Together, we can protect our sewer system and the environment. For more information, go to GUC.com.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Josh Hawkins, former NFL player, and you listen to Pirate Radio, voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. We close it out with West Craven coach Mike Twitchell and his Eagles set to take on Southwest Edgecombe, a Three Rivers 4A rematch coming up in the Eastern semifinals. Coach, how are you on this Thanksgiving week?
I'm doing well, Brian. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, let's talk West Craven Eagle football. And I'll tell you, I've enjoyed the last couple of Friday nights. I've been able to go to Vanceboro, get a chance to visit with Clay Jordan and see some of the folks at West Craven. It's always, it's like Tarboro kind of. It's Vanceboro really loves their football. They support it. And I think you guys have a great thing going over there. 11-1 on the season. And it all started with you guys with that emotional win over Havelock, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did, Brian. I think you can probably put it back to that point where that's going into one of the toughest places in the state to get a win right on the road, and we were able to do it. And I think it made our kids believe that this team was a little different. We had something special. Not that we were satisfied. I don't think we're satisfied now, but I think it did give us a little belief early in the year. Because we've had some ups and downs, had some injuries and lost some key guys, but I think having that win early, kind of gave us just some security and belief that we're going to be all right.
You had to buy in the first round, and then Roanoke Rapids comes to town. They were only 3-8, but man, that first quarter, I was scratching my head. It was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they held the ball for like 9 minutes, and I thought, man, they may be in some trouble here, but you guys didn't blink. Once you finally got the football, you scored, and you scored a whole bunch and won that game 41-6, but that was kind of I guess that's what you kind of get when you get a team with not a good record, but they still have a chance, and as long as they could keep the football, they had a chance, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they had a great plan. Off offense, they ended up in that game only averaged like 2.4 yards a carry. But man, they were right on time. We had just it seems like we couldn't get a stop there early. But like I said, our offense stayed patient, made the most of our opportunities.
All right, Southwest Edgecombe was a matchup that you guys were able to win earlier in the season. It was a home game for you guys. You guys win 44-19. Is it harder to beat a team in playoffs after you've played them once and you handled them pretty well the first time?
Out of it, I think it can be, right? I think you see it sometimes, right? But man, Brian, our team this year is so intrinsically focused that, man, it really ain't about – we hadn't talked a whole lot about Southwest. I mean, we've watched the film. You know, we got a lot of respect for Coach Varnell and his program. Played some really good games over the last few years, man. But man, we're looking at ourselves. We're still trying to use 4 days this week to get better. And as long as we play the game well and play the game to our standard, we feel good about playing anybody.
And you get a chance to practice on Thanksgiving. That's kind of been our theme. But what do you guys do on the holiday?
Oh man, we're gonna come in early. And one of our booster clubs, going to feed the team breakfast about 9:30 Thursday morning, and get a lot of players, former players, coming back, stand around and watch practice. We've done that 2 years in a row, and seems to be a good thing we got going on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Then the players go with their families. You get with your family and enjoy the rest of the day, and then you got to wake up Friday morning and it's game day, right?
That's right, man. That's right. It makes for a good Thanksgiving break for sure.
All right, what does your ball club have to do to take care of business against the Cougars for a second time?
Well, I think one, they've got a lot of momentum coming into this game. They've had some big wins and been on the road and winning them. Go ahead and try to get some momentum early, get their offense off the field, and if we can create some big plays on offense and win first and second down on defense, we feel pretty good about it. Both teams aren't bad on special teams, and it may come down to a special teams play. So we can play all three phases clean. We feel good about it.
All right, the 4A Eastern semifinal, Southwest Edgecombe as the 11 seed. West Craven goes in as the 2 seed. The other side of that bracket is number 4 seed Central Davidson and number 1 seed Reedsville. So it would be a trip to Reedsville, but obviously coaches will tell you, I don't even ask the question anymore because they say, Brian, we got to go game by game. We're not even worried about that next week. So best of luck this week against Southwest Edgecombe. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Vanceboro, and we look forward to seeing you guys continue on in the playoffs. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have a great holiday.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Mike Twitchell, head football coach at West Craven, and that is our show for today. We want to thank all of our coaches for joining us on this Thanksgiving week. Ryan Gieselman at Kinston, Ron Cook over at Farmville Central, Jeff Craddock, the legendary Jeff Craddock at Tarboro, Keith Boyd at Northside Pinetown, and we just talked to Mike Twitchell down in Vanceboro at West Craven High School. That is our show. Have yourself a happy Thanksgiving on Thursday, and we'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Auto World, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, QC Kinetics, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio. This is